Next topic. Chris Paul is going to be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks because of an avulsion fracture in his right thumb. Obviously, it's going to be a massive blow. Phoenix Suns have the best record in the NBA and also the Western Conference as well too. Like I said, it's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. If you fast forward 6 to 8 weeks, the regular season ends after 7 weeks from Sunday on April 10th, and the playoffs will begin April 16th. So you really wouldn't have that much time, but everybody's body's different. He could be healed within 3.5, 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it really just depends. But what are your thoughts on Chris Paul's injury, aside from him being selfish and not having someone replace him for the All-Star? But in all honesty, what are your thoughts on Chris Paul's injury and the Phoenix Suns moving forward?
I do wonder how this is going to affect him mentally, first of all, because his whole career has been, if he doesn't get injured, at some point he might have already had a ring. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the Houston Rockets that one season, I think it was against the Warriors, they would have them. I think they were up maybe 2 games and then he got injured, something like that. So I would wonder how he's doing with this injury, because I didn't even do the math on this, like the stuff that you just did. If he's gonna come back when the season ends for the playoffs, I mean, they probably gelled enough for them to come back and just play. But I would wonder how does this change the entire team? Because I mean, I have some stats, of course, but 0 games missed from him, third highest scorer on the team, 14 points per game, 10 assists, 1.9 steals. And your immediate backup is Cameron Payne, 10 points per game, 3.6 assists, 36% from 3-point shot. His per 36, I mean, it's 18 points per game. That's not realistic. 6.4 assists. I think he could get up to that. They just got Aaron Holiday. He's played 3 games, 6.2 points per game on the season, 16 minutes. Elfrid Payton's not really an option for them. He's really just coming in the game as a hack a Shaq. Everybody just fouls him because he only shoots 39% from the free throw. I can see them being good enough to stay at first, because Aaron Holiday is a really good backup for Cameron Payne, or Aaron could honestly start for you. I think they don't have a problem there. But when it comes to Chris Paul, I would wonder what this is going to do for him the next couple of weeks, and then when he gets to the playoffs, how he's going to play. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. Like you just said, everybody's body is different. So maybe he does come back really, really quickly the way Bam came back from his thumb injury, or this really affects him when he gets to the game and he's injured and it's hard for him to pass, or his rehab is a little different. His hand is a little stiff, because I don't know what hand it is, but what happens if it is a shooting hand and it's hard for him to shoot? What does his rehab look like? He's still the point guard no matter what. So
Nah, I agree with you. So, I mean, first and foremost, if you've seen any Chris Paul interview or just watch him play, basketball junkie, there's very few like him as well too. Obviously in the short term it's going to suck, but I think it's just only going to add character to the role players. So it's going to force them to step up as well too. And I think now the pressure's on Devin Booker. We've seen him go 8-0 in the bubble. Obviously Ayton kind of missed 25 games that year or something like that for some performance enhancements or something like that. But we've never really seen Devin Booker lead a team. Obviously, he's going to be guaranteed to give you buckets, but are those buckets going to translate to wins when you don't have your floor general there as well too? So I expect him to play more minutes, and I expect him to be more of a facilitator than more before. And I know he's more than capable of it, but I think this is the time where obviously we have a race with DeMar, Joel, Giannis, Jokic, I think, and Ja Morant. I think I think that's the consensus for the top 5. But if Chris Paul's going to miss the majority of the season, y'all got the number 1 seed. Traditionally speaking, it's stats with success for your team. If Devin Booker can take his game to another level, then I think that would do him justice to at least be considered in the MVP conversation, because they were kind of splitting them up as well. But I'm curious to see, like I said, that Booker stepping up, Ayton stepping up, Bridges stepping up, the 2 point guards you named, Payne and Holiday stepping up. It's going to be interesting to kind of see. And I know even though Chris Paul's not going to play there, he's still going to, I mean, it's just his hand, right? So he's not going to be away from the facility, right? He's still going to be able to be that second coach aside from Monty. He's still going to get them, keep them motivated, seeing what is working, what's not working out there as well too. So he's going to be an extension on the floor from the coach's perspective. So I think they're going to be fine, and they have enough cushion to the point where they can keep that number one overall seed in the West and overall NBA as well too. But it's going to be pretty interesting to see because Clay's only going to be getting better. Draymond Green's going to come back eventually. I think Wiseman is going to be set to come within the next 2 weeks. So they could lose a little bit and Golden State gets the number one seed. And I truly feel like, in my opinion, even though Phoenix got to the promised land last year, obviously injuries are part of the game. I think if the Warriors have home court advantage throughout the postseason, they're more likely to get to the finals. But if Phoenix has that home court advantage, I think they're more likely to get to the finals as well too. But we're going to see what happens. And Chris Paul's been relatively pretty damn healthy since, I guess, since OKC, and then Phoenix, and now this year, and then the first year with, I mean, the second year, I think a little bit too with the Rockets, but he's been relatively pretty healthy. Obviously his hand, it literally was a freak accident. That's why he got tossed out the game now. Now I'm thinking about it because he felt like something was wrong, but he is older. A lot of people always talk about, oh, years 16, 17, 18, Bron. Year 16, 17, 18, CP3. Like, he's still, like you said, the point guard. So in my opinion, it's like, I mean, you've been labeled injury prone. You didn't miss no games this year, but you've had that track record of getting hurt. Now that you're older, to take this portion of wear and tear off your body for these next couple of weeks is only going to keep them more fresh for the playoffs. So I think it's a double-edged sword, but like I said, I think Phoenix has this system, has great coaching, has good pieces built around their core that they should be able to stay afloat and keep that number one seed. If not, dip slightly to number two, where towards the end of the season, they're battling Golden State, you know, within like the last 3 games. So we're not only going to be following the plane to see who gets that 7 through the 10 seed, but we're going to see who gets that number one seed in the West. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see moving forward.